Greetings, housemates, and welcome to Let's Play XCOM Art of War. The Art of War mod is my own mod built on top of the Long War framework created by Johnny Lump and Aminari. And by framework, I mean the actual Long War mod had a lot of awesome infrastructure that never got used to what I think is its full potential. So to make the XCOM that I always wanted to play, I created the Art of War mod. Let's go ahead and jump right in because there is a whole lot to talk about. In short, I can tell you that the Art of War mod is as different from vanilla Long War as vanilla Long War is from vanilla XCOM Enemy Within. There are just that many changes. There's going to be a lot to talk about, and we're going to cover things as they pop up, but we can't cover everything, even as it pops up. So expect to learn a lot and know that there's a lot more to learn. All right, first off, let's talk about the game types. These are no longer difficulties. Strategy is not necessarily easier than all the rest of these. So here's how it works. If you play Long War Impossible, start on Despair. I think it's a notch easier than Long War Impossible, but it's a hell of a lot more interesting. It has the hardest strategic and tactical settings, and so many changes. It's going to be great. I think you'll really enjoy it. Hope is a softened version of Despair. It's got a moderate tactical and moderate strategic challenge. It's for anyone who isn't sure, didn't like Impossible, just wants to enjoy everything and play through. It's got room for an exploratory playing of the game as opposed to a hardcore one. Tactics goes easy on the strategy side and gives you Despair level tactical combat. That's for people who want the hard fights, but they don't want to micromanage their base that much or worry about every single credit or alloy. And then strategy is the reverse of that, probably the easiest version, as it has the most difficult strategic game settings, but it eases off on the tactical missions. That's for people who really liked the tactical, the base building, and satellite strategy of the game, which admittedly is not as deep a game as the tactical side. But if you really want to try it out, and you want the combat to be easy and the strategy to be just as rigorous as in Despair, then that is the mode for you. So hopefully everyone will find something to play through. I didn't see a reason why there should be 4 flavors of the same ice cream. Let's have one of each. All right, we're going to turn off beginner voiceover because that shit is lame. And we're going to move on. One thing to note, all of the second wave options have been balanced for my mod except for two. That is Training Roulette and Hidden Potential. I know some people absolutely love these. It's just a huge time sink that I have not had the time to go into yet. Training Roulette, I don't care about. I don't care about Training Roulette at all because my soldiers' perk trees are so finely honed that Training Roulette is going to be a massive disadvantage. And I'm not even sure it's balanceable. Trust me, the perk trees, there's so much thought and effort into them, and they're so nice right now that you don't want Training Roulette. No one wants that. Hidden Potential, on the other hand, a lot of people really want this. It's just a lot of work, and I haven't gotten around to it yet because other parts of my mod still need polishing and completing, like the highest level enemies and the descriptions, the late game descriptions. So, someday Hidden Potential, probably never Training Roulette. Red Fog. So, Red Fog is awesome, and note that this plus sign indicates that I think this is a necessary part of my mod's experience. Obviously, I can't force you to click it, but everything marked with pluses I consider to be kind of integral to my vision for the experience. So go ahead and give it a shot. It is kind of a lot of items and perk trees and stuff are kind of geared around it. Like Red Fog, there's a lot more room for people to have med kits without in healing potential without bringing med kits on everybody. So yeah, it is kind of built to include these mods. Itchy Trigger Tentacles, Green Fog, that is, you lose your edge as combat goes on, indicated by a close encounters penalty. To kind of keep you actively engaging in the early turns instead of Overwatch lameness. Dynamic War. This is... You can obviously turn Dynamic War off. It scales so many things in the game. Dynamic War, if you turn it on, the game will be longer, as I intend, by about 50%. And if not, it'll be shorter, and some of the time frames may be weird, and it might be a little strange, but it should be playable. Still, Dynamic War is key to my idea of what the game should be like. Aiming angles, so that's awesome. And target enrichment, which increases the alien numbers by 25% per pod. Generally, that's about one more alien or none. I'm also going to turn on perfect information because I'm kind of troubleshooting my mod right now, playtesting it. So I want to see their to hit values in case I made something unbalanced accidentally. All right, here we go. Art of War Despair with all the suggested second wave options plus perfect information. Also note that I'm playing with about 8 mods besides Long War and Art of War. And I'll talk about those as they pop up. All of the starting bonuses have been balanced as well as I could with my mod. Some interesting ones like extra steam vents. That may not sound like much, but the way I've rejiggered the power facilities for the base, steam vents are actually super useful. Starting with the foundry. Foundries take a lot longer to build and are expensive these days, so that's actually quite the bonus. We're going to kick off with, which one do I want to play with for the whole game? So many good ones. Canada's laboratory and workshop is real tempting. France's item requests occur 40% faster. Seems pretty sick to me over the long run of the game. Illuminator gun sight's pretty boss. Extra mobility. People are a little more mobile in my game. We're going to begin with, let's go with something kind of generic so that our playthrough looks kind of like yours. Sure, the requests are going to be nice, but there's no unique buildings
Our target site is near the German
starting
border.
information for us. All right, so Operation
indicating
Bloody
alien
Rain.
activity within a major
The first thing you're going to
area.
notice when we get to the
down
mission
there
is
and
that we
eliminate
have
any
8
hostiles.
soldiers from the get-go. That means your squad size increases are going to take you up to 10 soldiers. Basically, I wanted to do this because I felt like losing a soldier on a mission was just a big penalty. I know Long War added 2. I think 2 more is worth it. And on the biggest missions, you'll have 12.
Strike 1. This is Central. You are free
All right,
to
so we've got
engage
8
all
soldiers.
hostile
You'll notice
contacts
that I
in
have the
AO.
military
Don't take any
retexture
chances.
mod. So they are looking a little more tactical than they might in the original Long War. And you'll also notice that they've already got some perks like low profile and Sentinel. That's thanks to their equipment, right? Because these are all rookies. I do have enhanced tactical information mod, which is totally awesome. And we'll tell you what kind of aliens are still active, how many you've killed. It'll tell you your actual current XP, so we know he's going to level up. And of course, all of your stats, including damage resistance, right up here. So that's awesome. So how did we get Sentinel in low profile? You'll note that this guy has the TAC vest on. TAC vest comes with low profile. Since there are so many soldiers in the game with squad sizes of 8 to 10, you need to be able to use more than just heavy cover. One of the big issues I had with Impossible Long War was that there just was not enough heavy cover to go around, and light cover was death. So now it's pretty easy. You want to bring a couple soldiers with tactical vests to make use of that light cover rather safely. And Sentinel comes from the Rifleman rack. Each primary weapon comes with a perk, and each secondary weapon uses that perk, of course, because once you have that weapon equipped, the whole soldier gains the perk. So we have Sentinel from our Rifleman rack, which is the basic assault rifle. But they're presented as racks and arrays because they grant these perks to everything. And then we'll also have Sentinel when we are using our light sidearm here, the Colt M1911. I tried to go for a little bit of real-world accuracy on the weapon types, at least the starting ones. Okay, and let's talk also about the tactical armor. So as opposed to the tac vest, you can take the tactical armor. Note that we've got 3 armor health instead of just 2. And we have hardened. Hardened gives you a 40% resistance to critical hits. This is less than it used to, but that's because I wanted to use it. Yeah, anyway, the whole crit system, hit system is significantly different in my mod. Trust me, hardened prevents you from getting critted, which is much more likely. And crits are kind of like the full-on hit. It used to be that a regular hit was enough to severely wound you, and a critical hit might just kill you outright. I've toned that down a bit. Now, a critical hit is a severe wound, and some critical hits might kill you. And a regular hit might not even, it might take out most of your armor, but it doesn't guarantee a hospital stay. And if you're sufficiently geared up, it might not even hurt you bad or at all. So Hardened has had to adjust as well to fit into that schema. All right, enough about that. Oh, the reflex rack gives us Vigilant. Vigilant negates Overwatch penalties, but does not allow you to crit on Overwatch. So that makes him great for taking heavy cover, because he doesn't have low profile.
Heading to that location.
Note also that he has increased damage reduction thanks to his heavier armor. Just a tad, but enough to guarantee that he gets up to 1 damage reduction when in heavy cover. So he is pretty boss. His defense is, yeah. So when I move up here, I can safely go into Overwatch because I have this Vigilant perk. I'm not going to lose any accuracy if we trigger a pod that he can actually fire on, and he's going to catch him out of cover. The only thing I lose is the ability to crit, since only direct attacks or opportunist Overwatch can crit. But I'm totally willing to trade that to catch some aliens out of cover. Let's see. What do you have? Rifleman rack. We can actually inch up here with her. She's in the same basic boat. She's got a reflex rack, which means her Overwatch is unpenalized. She's got this hardened resistance to crits, and heavy cover works great for her because light cover is crappy for her. Also, you note she has anti-material charges. That is anti-mech damage on her explosives, thanks to the HE kit, which comes with 1 grenade in this perk. That means her needle grenade also does extra damage to mechanical units, so mixing and matching the various grenades can actually net you some really interesting combinations. Put her in Overwatch as well. Okay, this girl, she's just gonna cover the side over here. We're just putting all of our tac vests. I'm moving my reflex racks first. As the riflemen are pretty good on direct attack. Even though they have Sentinel, their Overwatch is penalized by like 40%, which kind of means
Getting there now.
that their Overwatch
Got something over
sucks
here.
a bit. Okay, thankfully these guys aren't flanking us. I don't think they'll step out in the open. I think he's good, although I could return him here. Even if they do flank us, he has hardened, which should make him a bit more resistant to critical hits than most. I am worried about these guys, and yeah, sadly, I do want to mod the game to give you smoke grenades at some point, but no luck. Let's see, she's got tac armor.
I'm on the move.
Let's get her up here. We're going to use a massive blast of Overwatch to try and keep all these guys coming in our flank at bay.
Si, signore.
Okay, let's move her up.
Avvistato oggetto alieno. That's affirmative.
These guys here.
Okay, show me that one.
I've got my eyes on.
Okay, 38% reaction shot. Not horrible,
Adjusting aim.
but it's not enough to guarantee a hit. However, remember she does have Sentinel. These guys are a little freaked out. Hopefully they won't close in too hard on me and shoot me in the side. Okay, we hear some doors busting open. And if they're not going to charge in on my flank, I could really, I could really appreciate that. Alright, we know where one is. Alright, I'm guessing there just wasn't enough good cover for them around here. Also, we're going to have to deal with some Overwatch. The best people to run Overwatch are actually the people in heavy armor, in case they get hit, and people with decent defense. This guy's got 46 defense, which makes him a little bit better than the other ones, I guess. We may be about to trigger multiple pods, but that's kind of how the cookie crumbles here. I remember that my green fog means my soldiers are getting a little less accurate every turn. Question is, yeah, we're going to charge it.
Okay.
Okay, no Overwatch or extra pods, and a good bit of flanking. Lucky, lucky us. Okay, now this does not leave much for us to do. Let's give this guy a shot. So note we've got a 67% chance to hit, 46% chance to crit. That's a little bit lower than normal, but I wanted to make being flanked bad, but I wanted you to kind of have to specialize a little bit before it was guaranteed to just absolutely murder people. I felt like I needed to build in a lot more soldier specialization. So remember that red fog is gonna take a serious toll on these guys. Even if we don't kill them, their accuracy is gonna be severely penalized. Let's see. Let's be
Posizione
greedy.
confermata.
That's always more fun, right?
Attenzione, nemico in avvicinamento.
Retro sons. That is
Trying to flank us.
bad news bears. Alright, so how are we gonna do this?
Affirmative.
She's hardened. Drones are kind of the flare guns of this universe. They are not the nastiest thing in the world. So I don't mind if the drone flanks me. I know it can't kill me. At least I suspect it can't kill me.
Position confirmée.
She's gonna get did up pretty hard. Let's
Okay,
have some
surveille la
Overwatch
zone.
in depth in case they charge in on us, because what else are we gonna do?
Double time.
And then these guys,
That's
I
affirmative.
guess we're just gonna have to
Got it
pray
covered.
that our Overwatch catches some people. Can we see that far?
I'm rolling.
I don't know. We're gonna have to risk a crit here. Tactical armor as well, hardened. Hardened means you can kind of risk being flanked a little bit. Worse things can happen.
Sono
Okay.
sotto fuoco
I
pesante.
really don't mind the suppression. That means they're going for the double team here. Note the drones are highly accurate, but their damage is pretty low. Any amount of damage reduction could prevent you from taking damage at all.
Incoming
And
order.
they whiff it. Probably because being close to a target is much more important in my mod than being farther away. Or what I mean is, the distance modifiers to chance to hit are actually quite good and important. So being closer to your target starts to amp up
Requesting immediate assistance.
your attack power, your aim, earlier than it did before. Like, you can see, I actually have a plus 11% range bonus from this distance. So it is definitely worth it to get closer. That guy's Overwatch is probably pretty pitiful. These guys No lightning reflexes these days. Alright, what kind of grenades do we got? Grenades are definitely where it's at. She's got the explosive grenade. It would be really awesome to drop that bad boy on the drone if I need to. Got so much mobility.
Heading to that
Gonna
location.
move here.
Visual on the good.
Overwatch, huh? Gonna pop this guy. Hopefully he dies.
Kill confirmed.
Releasing her from her horrible confinement. We're gonna move her away from the guy who's flanking her. He'll have to move up. We didn't trigger this guy's Overwatch? I wonder why. Perhaps he really could not see us approach that way? I don't know. Not part of the mod, guys, just saying. Alright, here is one of our attack armor reflex racks. The reflex rack, also with Guardian, thanks to her flashbang. Matter of fact, let's just... I say oh so casually. Alright, with him disoriented, our threats narrow quite a bit. And we can actually maneuver some.
Ci vado ora.
Let's get around here,
È stato
grab
catturato.
this meld. And the rifle, it's not nearly as accurate on Overwatch, but she does have Sentinel. So it's a question of, do I want 2 attacks or 1? The rifle rack also comes with nice, just enough damage to kill it. If you don't kill them in one shot, they do become a terrible regenerating pain in the butt. So hit those drones hard if you can. He's gonna go Overwatch. And so will this character. Hopefully, it's enough to control those guys and prevent them from flanking us.
Yes,
We're gonna
sir.
dash up here, and let's
Heading to that
just
location.
provide weight of Overwatch fire back.
Moving to Overwatch.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, does it? Alien scum. Note, I also have line of sight indicators. It's kind of an XCOM 2 style line of sight modification. It tells you with a gold circle around your targets whether you will be able to see them from the square you have highlighted. All right, so here's that vigilant shot, 69% chance to hit. Boom. That's what makes the reflex rack so good.
Do something. I'm pinned down.
Okay, goes for suppression. Not too worried about it. This guy fires, 28% chance. Hey man, sometimes it happens. So we take the hit. Thankfully our DR does resist 1, and it doesn't even penetrate all the way through our armor. No one else panics. That's good. All right, the rifle rack, definitely the right one, with its slightly higher base damage than the reflex rack for taking out enemies.
Fear in hell.
She's suppressed, but lame. Okay, let's see. Let's use our line of sight indicator. Will I be able to target that guy from here? I can move here, and I have to target that one. Grenades, you know, grenades are good. But is it really that time? Okay, we do have to get a wee bit closer.
Mi muovo.
All right, let's move here. I know I'm flanked by him, but I think I'm pretty sure he's going to die this turn. This is the one that may live. All right, off the top of the tombstone. Here we go. Needle grenade for the win. Solid damage. Oh, and and down you go. All right, excellent. We've wrapped up 2 pods, and it's time to capture our sweet, sweet meld as we traverse through the first mission. Now, obviously, this is easier than
Yes, Commander.
impossible. Oh, what was that? What was that? Ah. Alright, I have decreased the alien line of sight for some units just a teeny bit, so you can kind of sneak up on them. You'll note you heard the decloaking sound. That is definitely something you did hear. That was not your imagination.
Headed there now.
Let's move in on these guys. If that pod hasn't triggered,
Eyes on the prize.
we won't waste time reloading just now. We want to get into
Position
position
confirmed.
with as many of these reflex racks as possible
Roger.
to get in
I'm on it.
some solid damage. I want this guy somewhere.
Already
Since they're
there.
in that building, we can totally flank them. And I think there's only 3 pods in the first mission, guaranteed. Alright, that is the visual of sectoids cloaking. But there's only one right way to greet this many sectoids.
Got it covered.
And I think it's called explosives. Yeah, buddy. Okay, we're gonna blow that door wide open. Before we do, let's XCOM 1 style
To retreat.
go for
On my way.
a horrific Overwatch blitz. He's got grenades, so let's just leave him where he is. Is that gonna see anyone? I really don't want to risk ruining the surprise.
Got it covered.
The closer the
Moving.
better for Overwatch, thanks to the benefits
covered.
of the aiming system I made.
Okay. Occhi aperti, comandante.
Alright, too far away to do anything as far as I can tell right now, so. What have I done? Ruined it. Got too close. Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't act with him, but it's a shame that I have to waste my action, like.
Got it covered.
Still, he should make a nice, tough target with his heavier armor.
Roger. Tracking. Roger that. Scan.
And low cover. That's one of the nice things about this heavy armor is it makes it real easy for you to be an easier target for the aliens, thus drawing more fire to the people in the heavier armor. Here we go.
Grenade out.
Sorry, I know I crouched down. I've never had a great game face. It's always been.
Looks up. Enemies rolling up.
All right.
He's down.
Oh, it is so beautiful. All right, lots of shots go off. I can't promise XCOM 2 style beautiful, and yet it is a little bit more entertaining than the original sometimes. Yeah, what do you guys think about that? Sucks, right? We got him pretty hemmed in, and we have a couple of actions left.
Moving. Roger. I've got my eyes
Let's hope they
on.
advance, right? What? You're not coming closer? So they're both wounded, which is great, but will not protect us from that, of course, like, I guess you always get hit once. 1% chance. Roy, dodge. Alright, so he's taken a wound. Nothing we can do about that. It should be, because we have a medikit here. Medikits grant field surgeon, which reduces or eliminates the recovery time of non-critically wounded soldiers by 1 point. So just because we have a medikit on the team, just one is all it takes. This 2-point wound will count as only a 1-point wound for purposes of actual hospital time, which is great. Duh.
Shot failed to connect.
Poor sigh.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Okay, no time to fool around. We don't want to take any more hits. And I'm pretty sure we collected enough corpses, right? Those things do a lot of damage. Don't worry.
Good work out there,
It
Strike
won't be
One.
enough later.
If I may, Commander, the labs are on high alert. Teams are standing by for your orders. We can begin researching the newly
All right,
recovered
guys,
artifacts
so
immediately.
that was a fairly straightforward first mission. You can see you have a lot more options, even from the base mission with just
Commander
privates.
to the research labs. Commander
than
to
you
the
did
research
before.
labs.
I mean rookies, not even privates. All right, we've all seen way too much of that. So yeah, we got 11 days. Because it only counted as 1 wound, because of course he took 2, he was down to 2 of 4 health, but thanks to the medikit we had along, 1 of those was negated. So always bring your medkits, always. Being able to bring 8 soldiers means you can level them up really fast. It also
The
means that you
recovered
can fatigue
artifacts
your
are being
barracks that much
unloaded, and the
faster.
research
I
team
actually
is
found
waiting your
myself bringing
orders.
6
We'll get
people on
started
missions.
as soon as you
Sometimes
give the
even as
order,
few as
Commander.
4, to keep my barracks from spiraling out of control thanks to the high mission pace. Note also, you're going to get more of your lyrium from
Commander
killing
to the
drones
research labs.
and other
Commander
mechanical
to the
enemies
research
than
labs.
before, instead of just from raiding UFOs. Okay, let's...
Every member of
all
the council
this.
is going to want satellite coverage, so we should plan our
Note
deployments carefully.
that the amount of panic varies greatly on the strategic level, and you're going to want to read up about my mod on my Nexus mods page, because much
Commander
sooner
to
in
the
the game
research labs. Commander to the research labs.
does it become likely that places will leave you. I believe it's set to, if they have 2 full blocks, then they have a chance to leave you every month. That is not insignificant. So you want to get satellites up on those high-risk countries, or simply give up on them and focus on other ones early on in the game. Because having a satellite greatly reduces a country's chance to leave.
Commander to the research
but,
labs. Commander to the
yeah,
research
even
labs.
a moderate amount of panic can cause countries to want to leave. When you see that red flash that says "Danger! This country is panicked and ready to go," it'll happen a lot sooner,
I'm receiving
and
you.
that's what
We'll
indicates that
monitor
there
that
is a chance
contact,
they'll leave.
but I
at
don't
the
think
end
it's
of the month.
related to the UFO activity.
All right, research. I have made the research relatively faster. You may or may not notice. Xenobiology, alien weaponries, all good choices. I can tell you alien materials is sick, gives you a little bit of everything, and is a great second research no matter which direction you decide to go. Otherwise, I've only jiggered with the prices and times of things. Engineering, there's a lot of different stuff. Cutthroat, this is your sawed-off shotgun. I would go ahead and build a couple of these. They're great for killing drones as long as you kill it with the first hit before their armor really kicks in. And finishing off things at close range. If you want that old-style shotgun from Long War and Vanilla that just murders people with super high base damage, Cutthroat is for you. Motion trackers are awesome, like they always have been. Shivs are better than they were before. Go ahead, do it. Shiv.
Commander, our current
You want one of
satellite
these,
uplink
sir.
facilities are at full
Note
capacity.
that you start with quite
We
a bit
should
of
build
money.
additional uplinks as soon as possible
Money is
to
actually,
allow for
credits
new
are actually
satellite
widely available
deployments.
at the beginning of the game and start to become rarer towards the end as your base upkeep kicks in. Also, your access lift builds much faster and is significantly cheaper than before. So it says you dig around a lot because it's also a lot cheaper to excavate than it has been. Also, steam vents are your cheap power. I'll go ahead and show you this right off the bat. The injection reactor, previously this was your standard reactor. It doesn't have to be built anywhere in particular. Supplies 12 power and +5 adjacency. It does cost 180 and 6 Illyrium. Whew. Kind of expensive, and it takes a long time to build, like a month and a half. The Geothermal Engine can be built on Steam. They're cheap, fast to build, but expensive to maintain. They supply 8 power, so, you know, 2/3 the power of the injection reactor, but they build in like 8 days. So this is going to be your first go-to. Specifically, you're going to want to find a place where there's some steam near each other, and that's where you want to build your first little pod of steam reactors. You want to replace them with the more efficient and cost-efficient as well as energy-efficient injection reactors when you can. But digging around is faster and cheaper because I made steam important. Also, there are a lot more steam vents. And you can see why Japan's awesome with those steam vents up in there. Barracks-wise, you start off with 24 soldiers, and there is a barracks cap lower than Long War. So expect to have to make some tough choices, and you're going to want to hire soldiers immediately. Because if you think about it, 24 soldiers is only 3 fully stocked missions, and with the faster pace of missions in my game, you're definitely going to need additional soldiers. Another reason why this Shiv is awesome. So I'm just going to go ahead. I usually hire 4 to 6 right off the bat. Also, they're a bit more expensive. Aircraft. So all the Air War has been totally revamped. Please watch my Air War video on my Nexus Mods page. If you want the base, there's the Jin Hunter avalanche missiles. Whoops, got to take that out. These are like nukes. They fire real slow and they do tons of damage. You need these to soften up the bigger UFOs or deal lots of damage to the little ones. The Hellstorm missiles fire really fast, or much faster, kind of a rapid fire, but they have lower damage. However, they tend to do, they're great for finishing off wounded ships. So it's rapid fire to finish off them or to fight the smaller UFOs. And then it's you need to make a couple bombing runs against the larger UFOs before you bring in the rapid fire stuff. So you'll see some examples of that in my playthrough. Let's go ahead and rename all these dudes. Yeah, Buster and Royal. I've also made changing things much faster. Hopefully not fast enough you can do it against like a UFO that just shows up, but fast enough you don't have to wait forever after you build something before you're using it. Alright, so that's a bit of everything. Oh, aircraft. I have made interceptors a little bit cheaper, but I've upped their monthly cost a bit so that you you pay to keep their experience around, but it's not hard to just replace interceptors. I know they're not that much cheaper, but your income's a bit higher, primarily because you do get a good bit of income from the whole world, because of course they want to support you. Maybe because you're trying to save all of them. Alright guys, so that's it for my introduction to the Art of War mod. I know we just covered the basics. I know it dragged on quite a ways. It is going to be basically one mission per episode for a while the missions are still small, and hopefully not 2-parters later. I might just do longer episodes. But feel free to tune back in to see more. If you want to do that, then I suggest you like this video if you learned anything or appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel so you know when the next video happens, and yeah, just in general, have a good time until you see me next. Farewell, my friends.